everyone. As I promised, I'm dressed for an interview ready. Earlier, you guys saw me. I was in my cleanup clothes. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I just want to encourage someone today and let you guys know that God is going to turn it around. God sees that you're down right now. God sees that you're upset. God sees that you're frustrated. God sees that you're growing weary in your faith. And He's going to increase your faith if you allow Him to. Earlier I tried to go live yesterday, and one thing after another. But I have to tell you guys, God does not want you to run from the storm, but He wants you to go through the storm. Because when you run from something, you're never going to really face it. But when you go through the storm, you're going to feel it all. And you're going to make a promise to yourself, I will not get here again. I'm going to come out better next time. Even if the same situation arises, you're going to come out of it better than you did before. Because you went through the storm, not around the storm, not underneath the storm, not beside the storm, but you're going to go through the storm. God wants you to go through the storm. And I'm telling you, as you go through, you might find somebody along the way. And you can encourage them and help them get through that storm that you went through better than how you went through it. I'm a living testimony about that myself. You know, I went through many things, but the biggest thing in my life was giving birth to premature babies, like micropreemie, like not even 3 pounds together, maybe 3 pounds together. Let me see, 1 3 and 1 5. So that was 2 pounds together and 8 ounces. But God be proud of you. If you just yield yourself and allow Him to get glory, I promise you, He will make a miracle out of you. He will turn the situation around. Right now, you might be homeless or living with a friend or whatever the case may be, but God will work it out. It's not what you go through, but it's how you go through. Somebody's watching you. You feel like, I'm nobody. Who am I? Alicia. I hope I said it right. Alicia. She sings and does makeup. Earlier, she was on my live, honey. I felt like it was Jada Pinkett or somebody. Just because I've seen different things on Facebook, and she's more than a conqueror. She's a wonderful mother, a wonderful artist, a wonderful person, as far as what I can tell. And if you operate in faith and not through fear, operate in faith and not through fear, I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna have to go right back to the analogy about a car and an airplane, both figuratively and literally speaking. God can try to take you somewhere, like that, but you want to take your time and you're going to drive and drive and drive. He can have somebody on the airplane to help your career, to help you feel better about yourself, to help you value yourself. And you may never meet that person because you want to drive instead of conquering your fear of heights and getting on that plane. Just like in life, sometimes God says, here, and we say, no. Sometimes God says, go encourage that person, go hug that person. Maybe they stink a little bit, or maybe you didn't like them in school. But if God told you to do that, move. Do that. Because you can save that person's life. You could have saved your life. When God tells you to move, and only when God tells you to move. Because when we operate out of self, we self-destruct. Some things you go through, you don't have to go through if you would have just listened to God. I've been in some situations. I helped with different people. You know, God didn't tell me to do that. And I had hurt myself in the process and others as well. But when God tells you to move, you will know. You will know. 9 times out of 10, when God tells you to do something, it's so much bigger than yourself. It's so much bigger than your thoughts. So much bigger than your dreams. But if God said it, guess what? He's going to make a way out of no way. I have my son's blanket with me. Right here. Let's throw this out for y'all. That blanket. That was my son's first blanket. My mom bought that for him when he was in the hospital. And I used to use it to cover up the isolate that he was in, to keep the light out and different things, you know, out of his face when it's time to go to sleep. And I'm just thinking, excuse me, I grabbed that blanket earlier and then I looked at my son. And that alone just gave me chills, how great God is. It truly did. Well, that alone just gave me chills. It truly did. Because that little blanket is nothing at all to my son right now. It might cover his upper half. But at the time when my mom brought him that blanket, it would have drowned him. Like, if I would have covered him up with that blanket, I could have wrapped him in there 3-4 times. Or if I would have just covered him up in that blanket, he would have been lost. I'd be like, where's my son? Like, he literally would have been lost in that blanket. And I'm telling y'all this to say this. I'm telling y'all that to say this. Sometimes we ask God to receive. Sometimes we ask God for blessings that we're not ready to receive. And we get frustrated in the process. God, I know you hear me. I know you hear me. I need this. I need that. You see me frustrated. You see me struggling. But sometimes we ask God for blessings that we're not ready to receive. I lived in a house with a bunch of people, but I wanted my own. I was not financially stable enough to have my own. You know? You want a home, but you have a apartment mentality. You know, I live in apartment. And we got this and we got that. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Because God is just preparing me. So when I have a house, that I can know how to do this and know how to do that. Stop getting frustrated and stop being so quick to complain. And look at the blessing in the mess. Find the blessing in the mess. Find the blessing in the stress. Find the blessing in that boss getting on your nerves because you're coming late. Wake up a little bit early and do what you got to do to get there. Even if you do everything once you get there, the boss is not wrong for complaining because you're late. And, you know, God is not wrong. Or God is not late for waiting and waiting and waiting until he sees growth in you to really bless you with what you're asking him for. Sometimes God will bless us in the midst of our mess. But other times we have to come up out of that mess so God can truly bless us. Sometimes we say, God, why me? Why are you blessing me? Why you choose me? Why not? Why not? God has truly been through everything that we can ever ask or think or imagine. So we're supposed to be his children. Why shouldn't we go through something? It's not what you go through. I cannot stress this enough. It is not what you go through, but it is truly how you get through it. How you get through it. The fact that you're going through, that's amazing in itself. Do not get stuck. Get through. Don't let the mud turn into quicksand. Don't let 4 days turn into 40 nights and 40 days. Be obedient. Excuse me. Be obedient and move when God tells you to move. When God says bless that person, bless that person. But if you're doing it out of self, it's always going to be a problem. I'm telling you, I can't get over the blanket. I cannot get over the blanket. Sometimes we ask God to bless us for stuff we're not even ready for. I was ready for my son to come home, but I didn't have everything. I didn't have the full foundation how I wanted it for when he came home. But when I start moving in faith and start working in faith, my son got better, and so did my circumstances. Nothing was perfect, but God truly was working. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but God will truly work, especially when he sees you're working in his image and you're working in faith. He's going to work it out. God will truly make your enemies be your footstool. I'm telling y'all, this lady that I know, like from the bottom of my heart, that she does not like me. But I mean, I called her and she gave me every little thing to do. Every little thing to do that has something good. I don't know who's at my door. But God worked it out. He truly worked it out. Y'all, I had a time with this ponytail. Trying to get it right. Oh, wow. So, My mom is here, guys. And I will right here. I will pick back up with you guys later. It's 7:27. Excuse me. But I will pick back up with you guys later. I promise you. But God will truly move when you put him first. Hey, Uncle Sterling, love you. I'm about to go now. My mom just came, but I will truly be back. I don't know what time I'm going to be back, but I promise I will be back. All right, I love you, and so does God. Hello, my handsome uncle. Thank you for joining like you said you would. I love you so much. But I really have to go now. Let me see.